Straight away I can see I've got my proportions really wrong. I'm in the town of Mistley in Essex. It's a beautiful spring day, so I've come here to hopefully do some sketching. Mistley is a small picturesque town on the border of Suffolk and North East Essex, nestled along the banks of the River Stour. Its main claim to fame comes from the association with Matthew Hopkins, the 17th century witchfinder general, the man who claimed to hold the devil's own list of all the witches in England. Behind me you can see Mistley Towers. A striking and rather unexpected landmark, the towers were originally part of an unfinished, rather grand 18th century church, designed by the famous architect Robert Adam. And when most of the building was demolished, these iconic towers were all that remained. And it's where I headed today with my A4 Seawhite Brighton Plein sketchbook. Although there was in fact a bench situated conveniently across the road from the towers, instead I decided to settle myself in the grounds of the towers themselves and just sketched one of them. This way I could include some of the buildings in the background to create a more dynamic and interesting composition and give an indication of scale. I started with a light pencil sketch, but here's where it kept going wrong. Normally I have a habit of making things far too big and filling the page, but today I just kept overcompensating for that and making it too small. This is really hard because I don't want to move it, I don't want to make it too big on the page because I want to get in some of the stuff to the right of it. But it is big and it's right in front of me, so it's really hard. I'm really struggling a bit with this. It's a good job I started with pencil because I made a right mess. Alright, there we go, I think that's a bit better. I'm still not really happy. I think that's there. This one might not make it to YouTube, so it's completely wrong. Right, I'm going in again. Right. Let's do some measuring with a pencil. I'm not very good at this because I just move my arm about. That's that. Now let's do some... Oops. Maybe we're going to draw some houses instead. At this point, I was on the verge of giving up. But as it was such a beautiful day, I ploughed on. I can't really see where anything is. I've made such an utter mess. Oh well. It's actually a lot more intricate than you realise. Seem to have grown a bit. They're off the bottom of the page now. Bit of a disaster, this one, really. So maybe I'll put this up as a video of how not to urban sketch. Not really sure why I did the pencil lines for this bit because I'm completely ignoring them. Not even actually looking at them. I want to get that big chimney in. I'm sort of in the right place actually, even though I ignored my lines. A few more squiggles in this tree, just so it's just not a one big blob of green really. There's also some foliage around here. That's that. So as usual, I've got my Winsor & Newton pocket field box with me. I was really tempted this morning to buy a portable painter. I've got the little tiny one. They do like a 12 pan one, or half pans. I was really tempted to buy it, and I thought I just don't need it because I love this. I use it all the time. It's the one with the professional grade watercolours. I've got the Cotman one as well, which I use if I'm going on holiday and a bit worried that it might get damaged or lost. This is my absolute favourite. I'll start with the medium sized one. And I'll start with the tower. Try and get rid of some of those lines. I'm going to balance that on there. It's a bit precarious, so we'll see how well that works. I'm just mixing up some yellow ochre there for the central part of the tower. Actually some nice shadows today. Add a little bit of yellow ochre back into that murky mix for the gravestones, just so they're slightly different colour. And I'm not actually worrying about filling them in properly, I'm just hinting, keeping that really loose. Right, I'm going to start at the top of this. And then I'm going to add a little yellow. I feel I should be using a smaller brush here. I wouldn't normally balance that on there, but I'm trying to keep it all in shot. I'm going to move this before there's an accident. I'm going to get the smaller brush now. I'm just going to put a little bit here, just where the grass is. It's actually quite a bright colour. Quite like that. Now I want a nice dark brown for the chimneys. It's actually really fun to be really free with the colours. I'm just going to put some of the shadows in and the bits that are dry. Most of it's still quite wet though, so I might have to finish that at home. And there's quite a massive shadow across the tower, which I'm going to attempt to put in. I hope it still looks authentic, because sometimes when you put these big shadows in, they can look a bit weird, but there is quite a heavy shadow on there. So this side's pretty much all in shadow up to about there. So we'll just darken those sides up a little. It's not quite dry enough, so my big stripe has lost some of its definition, unfortunately, but it's not too bad. That gets rid of some of those messy blue lines. Now you can see quite a lot of my blue lines here, but I am intending to put the sky in when I get home. I'm not going to do it now because it is too wet, but when I do that, hopefully it will get rid of that mess of blue lines I think really I need to go back to just going straight in with pen. I'm just going to put some tiny flecks in these branches. I saw James Gurney, whose YouTube channel is brilliant. If you haven't found it already, I strongly recommend it. He split the hairs on the end of his brush and used that for branches and twigs and things. I haven't tried it yet, but I might bring another brush with me next time and have a go at that, because it was a really good technique. I'm starting to overwork it now, so I think it might be time to go back to the car and try not to get attacked by any swans. Let's put it in the light. Let's have a throwdown. In my own shadow there. Okay, that's not too bad. Considering how badly it started off, overall I'm not too disappointed with the end result, and more importantly, I'm glad I didn't give up. Thanks for watching and happy sketching.